Okay, back again. Yay. Really tall. Should have worn heels. That would solve the problem, right? There's another solution. Okay. Alright, second set. Hey! 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 Let's see. This one's called Moldy Vegetables. She's hungry for anorexia. She wishes she could find some around. She wishes it was available at the store to cure her face that's too round. She wishes she didn't eat just because and get hungry just before bed. She wishes she enjoyed working out and eating healthy foods like salad. She wishes McDonald's didn't smell so good and drunken Denny's nights weren't so fun. If only all the snack foods weren't the most available, perhaps beaches would be more fun. Her fruits and vegetables always grow mold because the desire to eat them isn't there. After all the Doritos and cookies have been devoured, she feels her cupboards are bare. She's hungry for anorexia because it's the only diet she knows, switching from one extreme to the next just to look good in clothes. Yeah, I like the shirt here. See, okay. So I had this like wacky dream, a couple of wacky dreams actually in a row. I don't know what was going on up here, but something was. And I wrote it down, and then I made it into a poem thing, and then I found a little song to start it out with. So it's called Cufflinks. On a cold, dark night, in that old brick building, you were up there. I climbed your corridor stairs, closer, closer, close. You weren't expecting me. I went because it had been too long. Missed your face. Missed your hair, longed for your touch. A hug would have been nice. Or maybe even the way we used to cuddle. The nestling of your head into the milky soft slope of my neck. Body language saying you'll never let me go. Oh, I've missed you. I walked down the hall inquiring about your whereabouts. They pointed. And like an unsure Alice, I walked. Slowly, softly, hard. Throbbing, wild with excitement. It had been too long. I'd almost forgotten your face. Could barely see your lips move in my mind. Just saw flashes of your photos. The student ID card, you in my sunny bed, you with your guitar. I just wanted to see your lips move. I got to your door. It was open. Music was playing, not creeping out, but stampeding out of your room. The floor vibrated. And I thought, this can't be right. You were there, though. You were hosting a wild party. You, solitary, anti-establishment, intellectual you. And you were wearing a white dress shirt with buttons and a collar. Your cufflinks winked at me as they caught and threw back the fluorescent lights. Cufflinks? This isn't the man I once knew. You had a scotch in one hand and a cigar in the other. Big-breasted babes all around. You were talking to three at once. After you saw me and immediately looked away, I walked right up to you, interrupted you. You made a face and said something that summed up to, go away. And then I made a face and said something only a jealous person would say. Then I left your room, starting back down the hall from where I came. I'll do another here. I left my book there. I forget which one's the, oh, yeah. Okay, I'll do this one. I don't know. I can't figure out a title for it. Every time I come up with a title, I'm like, no, it's terrible, no, it's terrible. So, I don't know. Keep it clean, I guess. Whatever. Keep your nose clean, he'd say as she walked out the door. She always took it to be good advice and nothing more. She didn't really understand and was too young to know the depth of his words and the meaning they'd hold. But she knew this was his way of finding a way to say that he cared about her. On most days. The other days were spent behind a clear glass bottle, merrily making up jokes, laughing to himself and belching. She enjoyed most of the merriness, but found the drinking unsettling. She knew that after the merriness, he would instantly change his mood. From making jokes and laughing, he would retreat and brood a few years down the line. Keep your nose clean, he'd say as she walked out the door. This time she took it as a hygiene tip and nothing more. She didn't really understand why he didn't say face, why it's so important to keep the nose looking great. Keep your nose clean. The words would echo while she's primping. That's all he ever says to be. Must be advice worth keeping. In high school, she experimented with drinking and drugs. She spent her evenings with dropouts and wannabe thugs, but she got good grades. Realized at an early age, education was the way to leave sadness in her wake. Then one day came time to move away, college bound, 3 whole hours away. No more drunk daddy, no more loud shouts, just the echoing of her father every time she'd go out. You drink? New friends would ask her. Not really, she'd say. You smoke? They'd ask her. Only weed these days. You ever done anything else? No, not really. Why? Come over here, girl. Come check out this wife. They were at an outdoor party, walked over to a shed. There were 3 people in there, a hanging light, a table, a bed. She saw the lines on the mirror evenly spread. She tried it and she liked it. She couldn't find it to be bad. It made her super talkative. It didn't make her sad. She talked it, left her problems in the shadows. The next morning she awoke and found she had to blow her nose. It took many blows to get it all out, and when she was done, she looked in the mirror. Wow, check out this nose. She was overjoyed to see no hairs. The white must have burned them off by saying, keep your nose clean. This must be what Daddy means. After all these years of wondering, she feels she figured it out. He wasn't talking about soap and water. He was saying, put Coke in your snout. She only did it at parties. She only did it on the weekend. She never bought a single bag until she did one weekend. Man, this stuff is expensive. Her friends would say, but she kept buying each weekend just to stay out and play. Then one weekend, she decided to do what everyone does. Stay in a night, no parties, no drugs. Because something happened last weekend that made her feel afraid. Someone did too much and had to be taken away. It was her best friend she saw that crazy night last week. Saw her fall to the floor as her nose continued to bleed. The moment was so surreal. There were all these flashing lights. Her friend was rushed away with the sirens, and everyone was read their rights. The policeman knew her father. Decided to let her free. He could see she wasn't a threat, just on the wrong side of the street. You gotta keep your nose clean, the officer said to her. And she asked, for the first time in her life, what exactly does that mean? The officer stared at him a minute, as if he had something hard to say, and she could tell by the look in his eyes. Her mother died that way.